If at any point I spill this coffee, I apologize in advance. I've already drank too much, so between shaking from the coffee and then also being so cold, I'm like...
Plus the crack.
Super fidgety.
The meth this morning did help.
Well, what a great way to start this thing off.
Woo!
VRB, Vanilla Racing Broadcast, episode 18, coming to you from Nampa, Idaho. Actually, we might as well call this Boise, Idaho, because that's what Arenacross does. We still got Arenacross Dan down there at the end. We call him Danny Badass. D Stu, 164 Edits, Moto Limelight, zooming in. Moto Spy Dan, he's got a bunch of names. And then Chase Stallo, back in the house.
Zero videos.
Zero. But you are currently working on a video, the Supercross preview show.
I am.
You might not be editing that.
No, I'm not. I am working on it.
But you're working on
it. A little behind.
You write it.
I do.
You write it.
For the past 8-9 years.
Wow. Yeah. And then Dan and I normally are the ones that, well, not that show, but we shoot and edit a lot of the shows that you write.
Yes.
Now I'm the guy who sits at home and just anticipates seeing the upload. So good job, Chase. Always a video that I love to watch.
Great work.
Thanks for me. Good job, me. I'm back.
You're back. Hey, dude, you've been gone for like 3 weeks, which has proven us even more inconsistent than usual.
No. I think we're the most. This is like 3 shows in the month, dude.
Did we not get an award from Spotify, though, for the most inconsistent?
Yes.
I saw that, dude.
Slaw awarded us a you know, the people do the Spotify raps or whatever. Well, I think we felt left out because we did not show up on anybody's raps. So Slaw created the most inconsistent.
Well, that's why. I mean, if we were more consistent, even Danny told me last night, he kind of dropped off our viewership when we were so inconsistent. He forgot about us.
No, I mean, I think everybody.
But here he is.
Forgot about us.
Here I am. I'm a regular now, and to maintain the inconsistency, I'm going to as a regular, I'm going to now check out after this. We're going to do this, get on a plane, and
we'll bring Gary
that'll be
back
the end of this guy.
Bring Gary back in, or maybe Crane's up here. Who knows?
Who knows? But I'm glad you're still here. I thought you were getting on a 6 a.m. flight this morning. You're not. So Danny, 2 episodes in a row. You are regular. We should fly you out here from Maine every time.
Yeah. I think we're all set with that. We'll let Crane get back in here and do what Crane does.
Well, when you're part of the Vurbmoto conglomerate, Danny, we can afford things like that.
Yep.
So if you'd like to come out, you just let us know.
Dude, we make like 37 cents a year.
No, not anymore, because Ashton thing is now. So we're not even getting the 37
cents. Taking all of us our money.
Ashton.
Thanks, another year unknown. So a big weekend here, boys. Danny, you filmed for I think 48 hours straight. No, let's add in Friday. So I don't know, 72 hours straight. You came here. I didn't even see you. You're staying at my place.
Yeah,
I'd see him in the hot tub for about 15 minutes in the morning, and then I was going to bed at like 11:30, trying to wait on him.
Most I've seen him all week.
I had hot cocoa waiting on him every night, and he just never showed. So, but then he'd be here in the morning in the hot tub and then leave again. So he used me and used me hard.
Used and abused.
Hey, I certainly did. Yes, I did use your truck all weekend. I used your house, and I wasn't even seeing you in the morning or evenings. I was using your hot tub. Yes, I 100%.
I made you breakfast yesterday, though.
You did. That was nice. I raided your pantry every morning for some snacks to eat on the way there.
Good.
I went a few days without seeing the sun. Get to the arena for a nice early arrival and don't leave until past midnight. Sitting down in the hallway of an arena. So yeah, it's nice it's nice to be like back here.
All you inspiring video dudes. If you want to make it,
you get a half a slice of pizza for lunch.
That's what you get to look forward to. You can sit down in a tiny little room and shoot, edit, and
until the wee hours of the morning,
and it'll feel like it's never enough.
It's not quite Instabangers though, Dan. Not quite.
No.
But either way, big weekend. Chase and I got to go on Friday night. It was my first time bringing Brixton, my son, almost 3 years old, to a race event outside of Shred Tour. He's been to 2 Shred Tours, which is not nearly what Arenacross or Supercross is. And I think he thought it was really cool. I love when you get there, if you pay for the track party, you get to actually go down and walk the track. And the bikes are all sitting there. All the riders are there talking, signing autographs. I thought that part was amazing. Supercross doesn't do that. And
I think I'm a little bit jaded. Like the first time I saw it or heard about it, I didn't really think much of it. But then when I went out there to get some footage and get to see how much the fans actually enjoy it, to us it's we see these guys all the time, so it doesn't seem like much. But then, well, even though you see them all the time, for your boy to get to see it and be around all the dirt bikes and everything, for the fan experience.
Yeah.
It definitely it hits to them for sure.
And above that, you get to walk the track during the whole thing, and I've walked 1,000 tracks in my day, but getting to walk through the whoops and up and down the rhythm sections as a fan that night, it's really cool. You never get to go down unless you pay for the whatever to somehow be the lucky ones to walk the track during Supercross. So either way, having the track party add-on for like $5 or $10, I think is well worth it, especially for a kid to go down there. Honestly, even as an adult, to experience that, see the riders up close and personal, and I don't know, the accessibility of it all made it probably one of the standout features of Arenacross for me this weekend.
Have you been to? Was this your first? Like, back in the day, Amsoil Arenacross existed. Was this your first time going to an Arenacross since I believe you were at
I helped you
when
shoot.
Gavin Faith won Las Vegas. Back
I helped
in,
you shoot some,
like 15.
There was a handful I helped you shoot, and I can't tell you the last time I got to go to a race as a fan. And I honestly planned on shooting this weekend, but when I was like, you know what, it'd be really fun to take Brixton. That kind of outweighed going and working. I knew I'd get plenty of footage from you, so I was like, you know
100%.
what, I want to go sit in the stands. Chase and I bought
great.
some tall boys, some popcorn. We had a good time.
I'll say it's so much fun going as a fan.
It is.
I may never go work an event again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely pretty jealous of you walking around with Brixton and getting to hang out with
we
Chase.
drank beer, we freaking ate popcorn. It was like, there was a lot of things I liked about the Arenacross. Like, it's my first one, I think. I may have went to one back in the day. Honestly, I can't remember. A lot of things I liked about it. It's definitely, it's a great, like you said, if you got a kid or you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, it's pretty awesome.
Chase, the microphone works a lot better when you talk to it.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say something.
Like the amount of times we've done this, and I keep telling Chase to talk to the
I'm
microphone.
trying to watch the Arenacross. So anyways, it was good, man. There's a lot of, I think it has room for growth.
What was your one favorite thing? What was you think the coolest part about it?
What was it? How many tall boys did we drink? 2? No. There's a lot of racing. I mean, you definitely get your money's worth.
Yeah.
I almost think it's just going to sound bad. It's too much racing. Like, it's back to back to back to, like you're trying to like think of what just happened and they're already on the gate, and it's like, there's not much time. Like if you're a casual fan, there's not much time to explain the format. And like, even I was asking you, I'm like, what is this? Like the 5th semi? Like,
you guys were there on the season opener, the first night of the season, and like anything, there's always some
hiccups,
kinks you got to work out.
Sure.
And so even some of that was on me.
So
deliverables that I should have gotten up to the soundboard. So normally there's
format,
graphics, and like my biggest takeaway was like everybody in the stands needs to know that only first place qualifies. Like to me, that is such
it's very important.
Such a cool thing to know when you look at the gate and you see 5 guys who you think could win, and then only one of them is going to make it to the main. Knowing that is, that's what's at stake, I think is just crucial. So you guys were there Friday night. That message wasn't really conveyed to you guys, but normally that is 100% explained. So yeah, I can definitely understand.
I don't know. Wes Kane did a good job. I mean, I was listening for it.
It's just, I just remember like it's hard to hear. And then I'm asking you, I'm like, dude, what, who gets out of here? Like, I don't remember. So like, if I would have known it was top first, but I also think it dilutes the like heats a little bit because like in a couple of them, like Kyle Peters was half a track ahead, but if he was racing Ryan Breece in that heat, he's not half a track ahead. Right. So I don't know.
But that's why you stick around to the main event. You don't get to see Eli Tomac versus Cooper and Ken.
Somebody brought their 3-year-old, and we didn't get to stick around for the main event.
Hey, he stayed up later than he's ever stayed up.
We Kiefered the Arenacross.
It's the first time my son has ever said, "Daddy, go home." I was like, okay.
I will say he did pretty awesome.
He was entertained. Awesome. I would say the entire time. It started about 7:30 until about 9:15.
Yeah, he was out.
He was fully locked in on every single race, and I loved it. I mean,
I feel like if he would have gotten a tall boy, he would have stuck around.
He got popcorn and crackers.
No
corn dog. The corn dog line was too long.
But even the racing, man, like we were talking this morning, like the depth this year. Like there's a lot of dudes that honestly have made Supercross main events that didn't make main events.
Crazy.
Like it's a deep field this year. Like maybe guys that maybe they're not going to win, but like you got like A-Rod in 10th. Like A-Rod's on the screen. Like That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you would think A-Rod would just come into Arenacross and kill everybody. But
And going back to your point of like too much racing, I think if you're switched on and as a fan, you kind of know, and if you know the format and the racers, I thought it was a cool amount of racing. And I think probably everybody was a little reserved in saying, hey, you know, let's take the smart approach. Let's not start slamming yet. I think when it starts coming down to championship and points and all that, Arenacross will heat up. And each of those main event or heat races, heats,
it was opening
qualifying,
round,
and then the semis and LCQs get a little bit more entertaining. I think everybody, like especially night one, everybody's like, hey, there's no reason to create enemies or anything.
Some of them.
And I mean, as a casual fan, even going to Supercross, it's explained. But does anybody? If you don't follow it, you don't really know the difference between a heat race
you go to
and
drink tall boys in the upper deck,
hang out with your boys,
hang out with your boys.
So I don't know. I think if you know kind of thing, and I don't know. For as a fan, I loved that amount of racing. I thought it was cool. Could there have been some freaking mid-session monster trucks for the kids and shit? I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I'm nitpicking right now, but I'm just saying as a fan and like to me, if you want to grow this, like you and I talked about it, to bring a family of 4, it's going to be an expensive Friday night, right? So as you know where we're at in the economy and everything, you're choosing very wisely what you're doing with your family, right? So like if you're gonna go and you want people to return, you have to provide, let's say it's $300 for a family of 4 with parking, and you have to provide $300 worth of value or they're not going to come back. So that, I'm not saying they didn't do that. I'm just saying like it gets very tricky when you're trying to bring a family of 4 to.
And there's only so much you could squeeze in. The current format doesn't really allow any downtime.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Look at Dan. He stayed there for 4,000 hours over the weekend. Let's add in 2 more hours of activities and get you out at 4 a.m. instead of 2.
No. That's why I'm saying less racing and more entertainment.
The current format wouldn't be conducive to that. They'd have to make a lot of changes all the way around to squeeze anything else in. So it's give and take.
So the night that you were there, we had the 2-stroke race.
Yeah, that was good.
To us is kind of like similar to, it was kind of
Futures
another
or
race.
Something? Yeah, Supercross
but
Futures.
Normally that's a 50 class, which is quite a bit different from what you're seeing all night. So you do get more of a variety.
Yep.
And I mean, the crowd I think was almost as loud as it got all night during the 50 class, because like when you look at the stands, see the stands right there, all the people, 60% of those people are there to watch the dirt bikers and they're into it. And then there is a big portion of people who aren't familiar with, racing the same way we are. And they get as much excitement out of seeing these little 4-year-olds go around the track. Yeah. And it was actually a pretty good race for first.
That's cool.
So like the place was losing it. So like, yeah, the 4-year-olds aren't monster trucks, but they are totally different from what you're watching all night. So the 50 class does help break it up quite a bit. And
that's good.
And as you see, Chase, like Saturday was packed house, dude.
No, dude, overall, like I'm nitpicking for sure. Like overall, my experience is like 8 out of 10. It was awesome.
That's cool.
I've not been to a race as a fan in probably like Millville 06. Yeah.
Me and you together.
Yeah, me and you together, going as a fan, the boys and little boy going out and having a fun Friday night. Like overall, 8 out of 10. Dude.
Yeah.
Like
it was good.
I have no complaints. But I'm also like, our job is to talk about this. So,
well, it was cool to hear you guys' excitement because, like, as somebody who's around it pretty often, some nights are better than others. And that Friday night, like, it was cool, but it wasn't like one of the crazy nights. So then to catch up with you guys later and hear that excitement, and you guys definitely thought, like, for me to be like, that was kind of like a mediocre night, and then you guys thought it was as cool as it was. So that was kind of that was cool to see.
We mentioned it last week though, doing a moto spy during Arenacross. Like now, it's like something I really want to do because I came back and asked you. The pits were all kind of huddled together.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize that everybody didn't stay on the rig. So to me, that would add so much exhilaration to a show if we were down there in the pits getting BTS and like the stink dog thing happened last year, or the Vince Crazy thing that happened at World Supercross that Josh Hill got. If you were there, have Mike's on the right people at the right time.
It'd be the most entertaining show.
It'd be pretty entertaining.
You can pretty much stand in one spot and catch more than you would ever think. Like even just on Saturday night, there was a few people who there was stuff going on in the pits.
Is there like fights? Like give us you don't have to say names, but like is there like dudes yelling? Because those pits, 100%. Like imagine if you're looking at it, it's like the pits are like this, and every rider is beside
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, if you're pissed off at someone,
you're going in.
You're like setting your bike down next to each other and just like.
I mean, I missed the takeout, but I saw Isaiah and Anthony down on the ground, and then Isaiah was all cut up, so I followed him back to his chair that he sits in, which is only 25 feet from A-Rod. And then, so A-Rod comes in off the race, and of course there was a lot of tension going on, but some people made sure that nothing came of it. And A-Rod got up and, he had to walk right by Isaiah, who's sitting there his ass is bleeding.
Let's see that. Let's see that.
Let's see that ass.
Yeah, let's see it. Which camera do I show it to, Wes?
That one right there. Show it to your camera, Danny cam.
So
not safe for work.
Right off the race, this was pretty nasty looking, and so I'm standing here with Isaiah, and A-Rod just comes and pretty much just has to walk right by him, and no eye contact. Part of me was like, is he going to say sorry? And then I didn't know what he should do.
No, you should not say sorry. This is racing.
I'll tell you what he did do is he walked right by and didn't even acknowledge him.
Good. That's what he should do.
Well, in Isaiah's point of view,
Arenacross.
He's racing the whole series. Anthony's just here for potentially this one, maybe some other ones. But, going back to if they were all racing the whole thing, you probably keep tempers cooled a little bit right now.
Oh,
but come 6-7 rounds from now, they probably would have been getting heated.
And if that's the 6th or 7th time that's happened, the first time you're like, it's racing. Time 7, you're gonna be like, dude, this.
Well, going back to the format, you want to make it in. You don't want.
I know.
You don't want to come all this way. Poor Taco that was here the other day. He drove a long damn way to get here to only race the 2-stroke race.
You're watching this stuff right now. If you're watching on the broadcast,
Danny didn't film this on a toaster. He put it on YouTube and it hasn't processed.
He filmed it on his Nokia.
So if you can make out what
Brian Carroll, that happened while he was leading the second night.
He also did it the first night too. He something similar, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right in front of us.
You can make a crash reel off of Brett and Carroll.
I love his hair.
Oh yeah, good hair.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Good hair.
That was the biggest standout to me this
Top
weekend.
10 hair.
Brighton Carroll's hair.
He was definitely. I knew he was going to be a rider to look out for. And when I found out he was going to be racing Arenacross, I asked him, and I said, "Dude, you have quite the loose riding style. He is never centered on the bike. His hips are this way, that way, which doesn't always translate well to this form of racing."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, dude, I got it. I like supercross and go with the technical stuff." I'm like, "You sure?" Because you're pretty loose on the bike.
You sure about that?
Dude, is he fun to watch or what?
He was the highlight of my night.
First practice, I see him out there and he wads up in the whoops. He's skimming so fast and just wads up. And to the type of crash where a lot of people, even if they're not hurt, they're like, "Holy shit, that was gnarly," and maybe sit there for 2 seconds, runs back to the bike 3 laps later, does it again. The amount of times he ate it. And then by the end of the Friday night, I went up to him. I was like, "Dude, that was quite the turnaround," because what I saw in practice was interesting.
He got technical.
And he's not, offended when you mention you get a little loose out there. But he's got the full send mentality, and then throughout the weekend he got better and better. And leading Breece around they were past the halfway point, and he was, Breece tried to make the move a few times, and Carroll held on to it. And I was so locked in on that because I knew, right, and don't be offended, but I knew that either something was going to happen. And so that's why I just kept the camera right there. I said, he's either going to get blasted by Breece if Breece decides to do something, or we'll see if he's got the fitness to run this pace. But then sure enough, the landing in neutral there, ejecto cito cuz.
Yeah.
Ejecto cito cuz.
Chase is like Brixton with Go Dog Go on the TV. He just can't take his eyes off. That's how good Arenacross is.
It is.
Good job, yeah.
So we're showing you the highlights for free, but this is a good conversation.
I do want to go back real quick. So we talked about the live aspect of it, but how about just as race fans? Let's say that this wasn't 15 minutes down the street. The racing. These guys are fast. They're on a tight track. It's exciting to me, I think.
The racing's great. Honestly, it's my kind of
Are you asking if it was an hour away if I would still go? 100%.
No.
Yeah,
what's your question
not
here,
for
Danny?
not for the live aspect. Because next week it's in Wisconsin, so you're not going.
Will I get on arenacrossallAccess.com and watch it? Yes.
And
I'll watch highlights.
That's kind of what I would hope that more people do, because I think a lot of people who watch Arenacross turn into fans.
Yeah.
But it's the initial, step to giving it a chance.
Absolutely. I feel the same way, dude.
I think back to
me going and seeing it, I was like, I love this. And I actually I want to watch it.
In 2013, when it was felt, they were reaching out to me, and I had a few people like, hey, will you come shoot Arenacross? We come shoot Arenacross. And at the time, I thought I was too cool for it. Let's see, 2013, we were kind of crushing it with Vurb, which, you know, here I am on my way to Tuchental. I'm like doing, it was that like long period of time around designations there. So I kind of was like, I'm not going to Arenacross. No, thank you.
That sounds bad, but I don't blame you.
And then Buey, like I got an email that looked pretty official, so I gave it a chance. And then my very first night there, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. And man, pretty much the first gate drop, Hayes and Bowers.
Oh, that was the glory
right
days.
off the bat. And I'm like, this is insane. And I love it. And I don't know, it's just like,
it's always been punk rock, dude. There's
it's very
aggression, freaking in your face. It's more exciting than Supercross in a sense.
Yes and no. Like the racing, dude. Like even me or you and I, like we're screaming. I'm like, dude, you see that? Like it's good. And the attitudes, I think, like especially back.
The attitudes are the coolest.
The
part.
Bowers, Denny Stevenson, like that was the glory.
Hayes, Regal.
Hayes blows. Dude, Hayes entertained the idea of coming back this year, and he couldn't quite make it happen to get the sponsorships he wanted to.
He's so fast as shit. I could not believe it.
But man, just imagine throwing Hayes into the mix.
It's great, man. Like more people need to get on it.
I agree.
But here, and I think we'll get into this. But like, here's my thing: without knowing it, without seeing like what you're seeing right now, are you paying to watch it? Without going and seeing it?
I think the hype from people like us or casual fans in the depth of the field, if it's good racing, people are going to come watch.
Sure.
So, I think if you only had two dudes that were worthwhile watching, it'd be very hard to get that to take off. But I think the racing is going to be so good that you're going to hear about it, and you're going to finally be like, you know what, I got nothing better to do on a Friday night. If you're
in the dead of winter.
In the dead of winter, especially in Boise, Idaho.
Right. By May, I'm not watching it. And that's where I think.
But to be fair, I don't watch the outdoors.
No, I don't either.
We don't race in May either.
Yeah. No, that's true.
We don't even race in April. We're done by then.
I think it's a package from 7:30 at night till 10:30 at night on a Friday or Saturday. Now that I don't go out and freaking party my balls off every Friday night, it works pretty good.
But I think the thing that's going to hurt Arenacross is once Supercross starts. To me, Arenacross, you start in October, dude, and you're the only thing people are talking about. I do. I think you start in October. It's a winter
kind of the
series.
WSX thought.
Yeah, you start in October because to be honest, once Supercross starts, what are we talking about on this podcast? We're not talking about Arenacross.
I don't know if the racing's that good. Maybe we are. I don't know.
If you do a 15-minute podcast about Supercross, I feel like 2 minutes at the end of Arenacross should be totally doable.
Everybody talks about freaking Supercross. I'd rather talk about Arenacross. The dudes are awesome.
I'm trying to beat Troy.
Chase, you better.
Hey, I'm being honest.
Change your attitude. I'm
being honest.
I know. I'm kind of like Dan.
I'm being honest.
I might be full Arenacross guy now.
Okay. Well, you and Dan can start an Arenacross pod.
I can definitely say this though. We asked last week, would J-Lal have qualified? And I can definitively say there's not a chance.
No. Sorry.
And not to say with more prep and time and conditioning he couldn't.
Yes.
But knowing where he probably started at 0, there is no way in a month's time you could have gotten in good enough shape to do the amount of riding. Dude. I'm not even skills alone. Fitness.
Those dudes.
They must have done 150 laps a night. And I'm sure you come off the couch, someone as talented as he is, and send it for a little bit, but man, you are lining up back to back to back.
No, he would have been great in the practice time qualifying or whatever, or even the one-on-ones. But dude, Kyle Peters probably did 150 laps. On Friday.
Yeah,
A-Rod did going to the LCQ.
Yeah, A-Rod probably did 150 laps. I just don't know if
Kyle Peters did the head-to-head. Jared Lesher did the 2-stroke shootout. I don't know that Jared ever left the track.
No, because he was also going LCQs.
He was doing the LCQs too.
And Jared didn't even make the mains the second night, did he?
No, I forget if it was the first night or second night. He was in an LCQ, yeah.
No, he didn't make it one of the nights.
Yeah, right? Second night?
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. He was in the B main, yeah.
Oh,
the B main.
So who, Danny, as a fan yourself and the video guy, who was the biggest standout of the weekend?
Well, Peters, I think. Not so much not from a video guy standpoint, because he wasn't the one that stood out to me to the camera, because Ryan Breece was kind of stealing the show with the speed and style. And
No, I was going to say Breece,
going
so
through the
I'll just
pack.
go and throw that out
and
there.
I kind of figured you'd say Breece, so I'm just going to say Peters because the standout aspect to it is what I've learned, as from being around this so much. It doesn't matter what you throw at Kyle. If you look
He's
at the big
4X
picture,
for a reason.
If you look at the big picture, he comes out on top.
Yeah. 4X for a reason.
He's so smart. He doesn't get rattled by people who show up. And also, kind of like we said a few minutes ago, it's round one, so like the tensions aren't there. And like he wants to be 5-time champion. He's not gonna get tangled up doing anything crazy with guys who are here for 1 week.
Yeah.
So I give the nod to Peters for that reason.
We've
I'm
talked
taking
about
Breece.
him. We've talked Brighton Carroll.
Right.
That dude is. I want a doco on just Brighton Carroll. Like
I heard he hyped up the arena on Saturday.
He got fourth.
And I read it in Checker's report. It said he got on the mic and sent it.
Dude, he got fourth.
Oh, look at him.
Myers.
Myers.
Myers is the one who was getting the people going.
He's got the hair flowing. He's running into dudes. He's got the loose style. Look at this dude's style. Like, it's just loose, dude, and I love it.
Watch him. He's gonna power slide. I don't think he ever just like tracked through a corner. Like he was always steering with the ass
This
end.
is still 240p. I don't know how, but
Danny shot it on a toaster, so change it out of here.
What about a newcomer? Who's the standout newcomer? Is it Crockett Myers?
Well, I mean, Brighton Carroll too.
Okay.
I mean,
is he a newcomer? Okay.
yeah, he's never done this. So for him to get out there and lead a handful of motos while also just totally wrecking himself throughout the entire weekend, like he's
Just
got the
wanted
speed,
his shit.
entertainment. Brighton's the man, and he's also got the Arenacross mentality. Like I asked him after the race tonight, are you going to go back and get a good sleep, a good rest, or are you going to go out? And where do you think he ended up? He went
please
to
tell me he was out.
the New Frontier Club, and it wasn't quite cutting it, so he ended up at the strip club soon after that. And
That's my kind of
welcome
guy.
to Arenacross.
So speaking of that, I assume Cody Groves was right there with him.
Oh yeah, Cody was there.
I called them to see where they were at because I was kind of feeling like maybe we'll grab a nice casual beer. I think I called the wrong group for a nice sit down beverage. So you guys are going there? All right. I don't think it's going to work.
Cody
out
didn't
tonight.
make it in either.
No, I don't think he did.
No,
Either
Cody
not,
didn't
huh?
make it in either.
Dang,
no.
dude.
That's
Dang.
what I mean. It's a deep
Preston
field.
Taylor didn't make it in. If you want a good in-depth breakdown, Checkers wrote Chris Riesenberg wrote a great both nights.
He's already a capital J.
He's capital J journalist.
Pissing riders off.
Anthony he said some things about A-Rod. He wasn't happy, so I had to send that feedback to Checkers himself. But anyways, great breakdown on Vurbmoto.com.
Excuse me, Wes. I hate to bother you, but we have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Caller on line one.
Caller on line one.
I just had somebody call me. Hey,
Welcome,
Kyle,
caller.
Are you there?
Hello, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. We're here on the
You're live.
Vanilla Racing Boys cast.
God almighty, no.
Wes Williams here. We got Chase Stallo and Danny Stu. Who do we have on the line?
This is the four-time reigning
four-time.
champion, Kyle Peters.
Kyle Peters on the Vanilla Racing broadcast. Are you kidding me?
No, it's
Did
Vanilla
you think
Racing
you would
Boys.
ever have a four-time reigning champ almost coming up on world record?
We were giving him so many accolades. Danny didn't even tell us about the surprise. I am genuinely so happy about this.
Hey, actually, Wes, you just asked me who the standout rider was for the weekend.
Yep.
You said Ryan Breece. Who did I say?
Ryan Breece.
You said Kyle Peters.
That's right, I did.
Oh, I don't think so. Pretty sure he said
Kyle
Ryan
Peters,
Breece.
welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thanks, boys. I appreciate it. Yeah, doing well actually. Headed to the gym. Go get
Already.
some recovery
Whoa,
stuff in.
whoa,
And,
whoa! Are you, dude? You did like 9,000 laps, and you're headed to the gym.
oh man, it's just a normal weekend at Arenacross.
Normal weekend in Arenacross. Hit the strip club. 9,000 laps.
Not this guy. Not this guy.
Not Kyle. We're joking.
Just the other part of the pit.
other part of the pits.
The other part.
How did the weekend go? How was the doubleheader opening weekend here in Boise?
Yeah, doubleheader's rough. Just I have a hard time sleeping after races, so like to do back-to-back nights definitely took a little bit of a toll. Especially yesterday was pretty rough. Just the whole not much sleep thing, and then the travel day and whatnot. But overall, like it was a good weekend. Results were okay. Not up to. I don't feel like I rode up to my expectations. Like I know that I can ride better than that, and I was struggling a little bit. So I wasn't happy with how I rode on the weekend, but results-wise, it was okay.
And how much do you, I don't know how to ask this better, but like how much do you even care? Like you still got the job done. So you weren't riding your best, but at the end of the day, like the only thing that you really didn't get was, I mean, results wise, it couldn't have really been much better. And you're leaving with the massive points lead over.
Massive. It's like a point, Danny. Did Danny do anything?
Okay, but for the people who we know are racing, the full series, he's got a good cushion.
Yeah.
Like Wageman
and Breece
wants to keep racing, but his team wants him to test the 24 bikes this weekend, so it's likely that he won't be there.
Yeah, so he's 18-point lead on Bitterman then.
So, I mean, do you leave thinking like, I didn't ride good, but oh well, or like, is that eating you up at all?
I mean, yeah, it is to a certain degree for sure, but like you said, points wise, results wise, it was a good weekend. It could have been a lot worse. Could have crashed, went down. Like there's a million different things that could have happened, as we know in racing. So, points results wise, it was a good weekend. I was just not happy with my riding. So there's definitely things that I can be better at. And do better. So, looking forward to putting in a little work this week and then come out swinging next weekend.
So from a racer's perspective, how conservative were you and everybody else this weekend? Is it because it's opening rounds, do you guys kind of hold back a bit, or do you feel like it was full send already? Where do you think it fell to the typical last rounds?
I mean, my plan was come out swinging. That was the whole goal. Just come out. The goal was to win all four main events, but yeah, like as far as being conservative, I don't think that you can really do that in racing. Really, I feel like once you kind of like turn back a little bit, maybe your focus comes undone, and that's when things happen. So, especially from something that I learned from last year, and something that my trainer had actually told me, like last year after my injury, I was really scared to get back to racing. Like I was kind of freaking out a week or two before. And he was like, like we all know how this sport is. You have to be all in. Like you can't dip your toe back in the water. Like you have to be all in no matter what and go out there and do your job. So yeah, definitely wasn't riding conservative. I was going out to win.
What about from the aggression standpoint, though? I think that's probably what I'm in. I see a lot of Danny Stu crash reels and freaking takeout reels throughout the season last year. So Chase and I were there on Friday night, and just I know we felt like everybody was kind of probably holding back, not trying to create too many enemies quite yet.
For sure, definitely. I think I definitely could have ridden a little bit more aggressively. The track was really difficult to push on. So like when you would try to make a push, it was really easy to make mistakes and potentially go down yourself. So yeah, I think definitely it was probably a little bit more conservative on a few guys riding. But overall, I think it was a good weekend.
A few.
How do you manage?
Wait. A few. So who was not riding so conservatively, Kyle? I think I know who you might be talking about.
No, it's not that I was saying anyone wasn't riding conservative.
I'm joking.
I will say there's definitely some luck involved with not putting yourself on the short end of the stick out there. But is it experience or luck? How do you manage to always just stay in the clear? I mean, Isaiah isn't an aggressive rider, so he's pretty well. I mean, you top guys are all pretty much ride with a lot of respect, but then every once in a while, I mean, Isaiah, he kind of got blasted, and that put him out for the. I mean, I say he got blasted. This is just what I heard. I haven't even seen it yet, so if I'm wrong, then whatever. But he got taken out, and then that kind of set the tone for his night to just go downhill from there, and a huge blow to his championship hopes right now. But how do you just always stay in the clear like that? Is it just, are you that good at watching behind you? Because I mean, things come out of nowhere, but for you, you've always been able to stay away from it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. As far as like, I don't really even know kind of what even happened from the weekend. I haven't went back and watched. I'm kind of there, like I'm in my own little world almost. Like when I'm on the track, I'm on the track. And then when I come off, like I'm either focusing on things that I can do better or like trying to figure out what can be better. So, I'd heard that Isaiah got taken out, which that really sucks. Like you said, for championship hopes, he's a really good rider and has a lot of potential. So, which I mean, he'll be fast this coming weekend. So, but yeah, overall, I forgot even what the question was. Sorry.
That was a long question, Danny.
I forget what
great
I
work,
asked.
Dan.
We all forgot what you asked. I fell asleep halfway through.
Listen, I just hold the camera. All right, I'm not a broadcaster, guys.
Was there anybody that surprised you with their speed, Kyle?
No, not necessarily. Like, I know Robbie's, all these, Ryan, Robbie, A-Rod, all these guys are really fast. And the way the track was, like, it was wide open and really fast. So I knew those guys were going to be fast. No one really was like, whoa, like took me off guard. Especially with Ryan racing Arenacross in the past. Obviously I knew he was going to be good at the tighter arenas, hometown race. That can also bring up the level of certain guys. So, I mean, Ryan rode really, really well. You got to give it up to him. And I look forward to battling him more. Hopefully, I'm not sure if he's going to be there this weekend or not, but hopefully in the future we can get after it together.
Danny?
You'll see him this weekend.
Oh!
There we go.
Danny breaking news on the podcast.
I like it.
Breaking news. No, but he is going to Madison, so that's cool.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And then you guys
that's awesome.
after Madison? There's how big of a break?
3 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
How hard is that, Kyle? Like, in Supercross, it's weekend by weekend by weekend. Like, no breaks. With this, is it cool to get your feet wet and then take a small break, or is it almost distracting?
I mean, there's pros and cons to it, obviously. I would kind of rather just knock it all out, just go back to back, and I think that kind of fits into the way I like to do things, the way I train, and certain things like a little bit less recovery time, I think kind of benefits me. But I mean, there's things with the longer break, there's things that I can work on and get better at and improve on. So that's the plan. That's what we'll do.
And plus, during this break, I mean, it is Christmas and New Year's, so you got all your family stuff. So it's not like we're just sitting around like twiddling our thumbs. Like if it was a couple weeks off, like
in January,
with nothing happening, it'd be like, what are we doing? But you take your weeks off, you do your Christmas, like you wouldn't even be able to.
Well, it's kind of crazy too. This is the only doubleheader of the whole season, right? So it's almost like you start out, get the hard part out of the way. I'm curious. Do you know how many laps did you do? Do you know?
I think they were saying we did 16 in the first main and then 20 something in the second main. I know last year they were going off minutes, where this year I think they're going off laps.
Like a 200 laps.
Not really.
Over the weekend.
Yeah,
like
by the time you do
laps.
practice,
they were joking about how like
everything.
a guy like Lesher who did the heat semi LCQ B main 2-stroke race, everything. Like some of you guys, not necessarily you, Kyle, because you made it out of the heats, luckily, but yeah,
there's a lot of laps.
There was some people there who were putting in the laps for sure.
Get the Ironman award.
Yeah, no kidding. It's short like recovery time, especially if you don't make it out of the heat race. To do the semi and then have to do the LCQ, like there's not much break there, and that's where fitness comes into play for sure.
I was going to say it's not like it's any different than Supercross. The lap times might be shorter, but I almost feel like your heart rate might be
it's probably
even
way
more
more
elevated because the aggression and like how spot on you have to be and how tight it is.
You're
like
get murdered in every corner.
Yeah, it's like does your concentration level almost have to be higher in Arenacross than it is in Supercross?
Yeah, I would think so. Just because they're like the track's so much more condensed. There's breathing spots on every track. You just got to find them. But also like this weekend it didn't happen so fast, but usually like we come into lappers so fast in the main event. So like you got to be focused on what you're doing, make sure you have a gap behind you. or else you're focusing on that guy as well. And then you have lappers come into play. Like, you got to get around them. It's pretty brutal, honestly.
Wow. And I'm new to the Boise area. I live here now, so does Chase. Curious how our dirt stacked up. Is it
a little cold?
like what, we're both Southeast boys like you, so how's the dirt here compared to back home?
Man, it was really tricky. It was one of those types of dirt. Like, it'll come up and grab you super quick. Like, if you weren't super spot on, it's like had a little bit of like a sandy-ish mix on top of it, but it was pretty hard packed underneath. And it'll get like some nasty little chops coming in and out of the corners. It was honestly tough to figure out, and I can't say that I really had it dialed in all weekend.
That's crazy how the dirt can be that much different.
Yeah.
Like, as a fan, that's just one thing you probably just don't even really think about and whatever, but it could be that different week to week that it's like, you're not even worried about your bike or the track layout. You're having to get used to the damn dirt.
Hey,
definitely.
One quick question. What is it like racing against a 450 when Breece shows up on a 450 and there's time, spots on the track where he, I think, was a little bit quicker. He was able to drive through the whoops. Do you at that point wish it was all 250s, or do you not even feel like it's an advantage or disadvantage? How do you feel like the 450s versus 250s stack up?
I mean, there's pros and cons. It depends on where we're at. The bigger venues,
so
obviously.
Let's talk about this past weekend specifically on that track.
On that track, I think we were at around 2,500 feet elevation. So elevation did come into play a little bit with our motors and stuff, especially on the 250 side. So I think that's more exaggerated for the 450 to make it better. But also, like, the arena was a bit bigger, which made the track bigger. So I think the 450 had advantages over the 250, but also 450 is a big bike. They're a bit harder to turn, so that makes it tough. So there's pros and cons to everything, but I'm personally, I think I like my 250. I wish had a little bit more power to stay up with the 450s in certain areas, but overall, there's pros and cons.
That's what I was thinking when we were watching the head-to-head on Friday night. I was like, Kyle probably wishes he had a 450 right now.
I saw him taking some different lines where it's like,
during
450, he's good.
Are you working out with Grumpy Phil today? Are you about to be showing him how to lift the weights again?
I think he's out at the track today, so I don't think he's going to make an appearance today. But I'll see him at the track tomorrow, and we'll give him a little bit of a hard time.
I'm sure he'll have some thoughts on your opening round.
All right. Well, thanks.
He's going to tell me how bad I suck.
Yeah, he's going to tell you how bad you suck. And 450, dude. Get on a 450.
We'll let you get your pump on. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate it,
man.
See ya.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Thanks.
Well, heck yeah, dude. Kyle Peters.
Not often
4X.
you get a 4-time champ.
Dang, dude. All right,
and just cold calling him. Not even. This was not planned.
I love it.
This was not planned.
Well, next round, this coming weekend, December 8th and 9th, Madison, Wisconsin.
And he's just over here calling people.
Keep my volume up in case this guy picks up. But yeah, you can go ahead and talk in the meantime while it rings.
No, we got cold.
All right, who we got coming?
Man, these ceilings are really tall.
I actually know who it is because I just looked.
Wait,
cheater.
Wes doesn't know.
No,
All right, we'll see if he can identify the voice.
Can you identify? Don't even say his name.
Yeah,
don't say his name.
We'll just start talking to him, and
Wes
has to pick up.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice.
Jeez Louise, Dan.
Well, now you don't know who
that sounded like Siri. Was it Siri?
Yeah, it was Siri.
He's good. He's good.
All right.
So, hey, one thing I want to talk about, arenacrossallaccess.com. You can watch it. It costs per round, or how much is it? Is it like $40 for the year?
Yeah, I think so.
40?
So basically, let's see. I'm probably about to blow this math, but I think it's like 270.
The math. Who cares about the math?
No.
Someone on Vital said, "Hey, why don't you put it up on YouTube for free?" From an entrepreneurial standpoint of running a motocross business that loses a lot of money a lot of times, someone like the Arenacross crew right now bought the rights to this thing. They're spending millions of their own dollars and so much on this TV package. It's like one of those things. Why don't just pay the $40 to support it? If you're a fan of the sport, just pay to support it. And I think if Arenacross can hopefully get back to where it was, and they're packing out stadiums. They're getting a good TV deal. Then open it up and put it on YouTube for free. But like, I'm all about paying for this thing. And I could have called Dan and gotten a free damn thing. Yeah. But I can tell you this. I paid to get in on the stadium on Friday night.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I wanted to support. Yeah. And I want to support them through buying the app. And I think it's cool as shit that they're giving everybody $5 if they use the rider code.
There's a lot of things that, like,
we got someone else.
Did Danny?
Yeah, we'll come back to this, but
good job, Danny.
How we doing? Wes has to guess the voice here. Wes doesn't know who's calling in right now.
What's up, guys?
Not too much. How about you give us a quick recap on your weekend, and we'll see if Wes can figure out who just called in.
Can you identify the rider?
All right.
Wes doesn't know. Has no idea who it is.
I got it. Is he sitting fourth in points right now?
No, he is not sitting fourth in points right now.
I don't know what.
I showed up in shorts, little flip-flop action. Figured there was a beach on board, but it was a racetrack, dude.
And did you go out after the race?
Wow, you still don't know who it is, do you? He used to race horses.
This guy did pretty good.
He raced horses.
He did pretty good. He does really good hill clickers.
He tries to.
He might be from the state we're in right now.
I don't know if he got the click.
He tried a few times.
Haven't been hitting the yoga.
Well, you've got a week to perfect it, because you said in a text message earlier that you will be at round 2. You're going to line up in Madison.
What up?
And so for the people who don't realize, we've got Ryan Breece on the line.
I figured it out.
Well, you figured it out, but the people listening maybe didn't.
They don't matter.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome, 4 of them.
Welcome to the Vanilla Racing broadcast here, Ryan Breece. Second place on the weekend. Or not second place on the weekend, second place in points on the weekend, I suppose. One point off the lead, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we want to call that AMA official first main event, right? But we'll just say how it was, right? The race was completed, I guess, after 10 laps.
Yep.
We did pass for the lead, but we'll take it, whatever.
Yeah, they had to restart.
Let's hear your thoughts on it. I mean, obviously frustrating. I mean, without question, Chase, I don't know if you even know what we're talking about.
No, I have no idea what's going on right now.
All right, so there was a battle between Kyle and Ryan, and just after they crossed the finish line, Ryan made a pass on Kyle, and when they came around the finish line again, the red flag was out, so the win went to Kyle. Although I do have a shot where in the background of my shot, the red flag is waving when you make the pass, Kyle. So technically...
Ooh.
But we're splitting hairs here. Either way, it's frustrating for you. Regardless of, regardless of how you look at it, the outcome wasn't in your favor. So yeah, definitely frustrating for you.
Hey, I was just bummed I missed out on some $500 right there, man.
That's
all.
A lot of money.
I don't even, I don't care about the points. Like, let's go, KP. I want KP to win this thing, right? Like, I just want to get some money. Let's go to Supercross and get some funding behind this privateer thing.
Yeah. So how did it, like, was the weekend, I mean, were you happy with kind of what you made? Was it all worth it for you to come out there and race?
Yeah. No, it was. It was cool. Like, I think if it was a one night, it would be completely different. Just because I was doing it on my own that weekend, and it was kind of a struggle flying I had like a 7-hour flight to Spokane. Had to borrow a bike from a guy at my local state in Coeur d'Alene, and then drove 7 hours down to Boise.
Oh my gosh!
So,
that sounds.
Yeah, for sure. I threw my suspension on and just ran it. I mean, like literally stock bars and all, which that's what I run anyways. Started from the bottom, now we're here, baby.
Stock bars and all.
Question. If you could get like a support Rock River, one of these teams, would you think about staying in Areacross, or is it more financially beneficial to go to Supercross and make mains and that?
For sure, I would go right to Arenacross. That's
cool.
Like a huge thing. Yeah,
hear it,
for
teams.
Sure.
Hear it. Second place guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if I had a ride, and there was, there was some funding and money involved, and we could race for a salary pay, then yeah, definitely, dude. But it just really does not make sense to drive out of a Sprinter van and go do all this stuff at all.
It's tough.
Tough living, baby. Catch the
for
fever.
Sure.
Hey, some people they're from Idaho, but then they haven't raced there in forever. But you had a ton of crowd support there. So did you grow up racing there? Like, are you still pretty, like, are you in the scene there quite a bit still? Because you had the people going. I mean, that shot of you taking the checkered flag that I sent you, the whole finish line side of the stands, everybody was pumping for you. So
yeah, no, it was sick. I have a lot of fans, and I mean, I think there was like 50 to 100 people that said they were coming to come watch me. So
That's
in
cool.
the summertime, I host riding clinics, and we try to pop down to Southern Idaho as well and do a few there. So yeah, dude, just had a lot of support.
Yeah.
It was pretty freaking awesome.
That's rad. So we're based out of here now. We live over in Nampa. So to be honest, before this, I did not know I heard over the weekend that you're a fellow Idahoan.
Wes just doing all the capital J journalism over here, man.
Hey, I know now, and
Do I
how
have
cool is
another
that?
fan? Yeah, I got another fan on board. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's what I'm saying.
Hey, I do want to ask Ryan. I might have this story wrong. I can't remember. You used to like barrel race against horses, right?
Yeah, there's
Yes,
a lot
that's
of money
pure
on the
Idaho,
line,
baby.
dude.
Pure
Yeah.
Idaho.
Yes, the rope involved in everything, man.
Wow.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Now, Danny, you said what they could do during halftime. I want to see some barrel racing
There
on
it is.
fucking horses. That's what I want to see.
I think I made like $4,000 doing a barrel race, and that was 15 seconds long. You guys.
Wow.
16 seconds and you made $4,000.
That's pretty good money.
That's damn good
For
money
sure.
right there.
That was gnarly.
So I say next weekend you go to Madison, Wisconsin. You leave with the points lead. Comes
You know
time to
who's
go to
based
Supercross.
out of Wisconsin? Little team called Rock River. Just throwing that out there.
Well, my question though is, if you leave with the points lead and it comes Supercross time, like how hard is that going to be, like, to turn a blind eye to that?
Dude, it sucks to say, but I know that there's no salary involved or anything like that. So I'm just chasing the paper, dude. We have to go for the inch and dollar
Fair.
in this sport. So it's
Fair.
like, yeah, to be honest, I don't really care,
It's like, I mean,
it doesn't bother me.
I'm totally on board with that. it's a tough living.
it goes down to the Savachi conversation last week. You got to strike while the iron's hot. You need
Yeah.
to race. You need to make the money. Totally makes sense. Like, it's crazy to think that, oh, hey, I'm a championship contender and I'm going to leave it behind, but totally understandable, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. In the realistic goal, like, guys who race Arenacross want to get to Supercross. I've done the Arenacross for some good money and all that, with racing with GPF and Babbitt and all that stuff. But in the long run, man, all my sponsors who are supporting the privateer program, they all want me to go race Supercross. Like, that's where the television stuff is at, sadly. Right? I mean, for me, it's perfect condition in a little Arenacross stadium. We know that it's not going to be a mutter anytime.
Yep.
Let's run Arenacross. But yeah, for the sponsors' sake and whatnot, like, yeah, sadly, that's just where I have to go.
If you were there for the championship, do you think your riding would have been any different this weekend? Because there was a few times where, I don't know, you had some serious patience riding behind people. Didn't really see any aggression out of you. Is that, I mean, are you just, you keeping it clean? Or was it a little bit of like, I'm only here for tonight, not so much at stake? I don't know, kind of like,
You're not trying to kill
you
the
weren't running it in
championship
on
guys.
anybody. Yeah, you were clean, and then you even had the front row seat to Brighton's display of fireworks there.
That was sketchy. That was sketchy. He was definitely going for it. The whole freaking. I tried to show him the whole main. I tried to show him a couple wheels because I really did see him get pretty squirrely a couple times, and I'm like, all right, dude, maybe if you just kind of let me go, you just find yourself $1,000 in second, dude. Like, let's just have some fun, clean up your race a little bit. He's at Club MX too, so it's cool,
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
guy,
we were talking
good
about
guy.
it earlier, and he doesn't mind it being pointed out that he's got a loose riding style. But yeah, after the whoops, I saw you run it in and show him the wheel, but yeah, no contact or anything. You were patient, and I guess you could say let that one come to you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's my thing. Like, dude, no one wants a freeze out there. Like, no one wants a Vince Freezy Supercross T-boning guy. Like,
Or do we?
right.
I mean,
know
I
you
kinda
guys
do
wanna see
personally.
that stuff.
I'm not racing.
Dude, for sure. But no, we got to keep it clean, man. Like,
Yeah, I
like
got
Kyle, he's a freaking Supercross guy too. Like, he's a hardworking son of a gun. We all rip it up at Club MX, and even Bitterman, dude. They're all freaking fast guys.
Yeah.
The depth this year
gotta-
I was surprised about. Like, there's a lot of dudes this year.
Yeah. And it was stacked, man. When you do you got 4 heat races and only top 2 make it. That's gnarly.
That is true.
Yeah. To me, to speak about this, Ryan, like you've obviously do Supercross and you've done Arenacross. Like, what do you think of the format? Like, is it too much racing? Is it good amount? Like, is it, to me, because like you're right, at the end of the year, like I think those top 2 spots, like things are gonna get a little dirty. Did you hang up on him, Danny?
No, I think you start to talk.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, Ryan.
We hear ya. Did you hear us? Did you hear the question? Think you lost him, Dan.
He might be going through a dead spot.
Yeah. Ryan.
Bueller.
Well, that was a nice chat with the number 200.
He's still
Ryan
there.
Breece.
Are we hanging up on him?
Yeah, we gotta hang up.
Yeah.
Bye, Ryan.
So,
bye, Ryan.
All right, hey, one person we haven't talked about though is Bitterman. Food poisoning on the second night. Anyways, I'm sure
He
that
did
was
not eat at Olive Garden. Everyone, he did not eat at Olive Garden.
He should have. That Olive Garden over there.
You do not get food poisoning.
It's 4.8 stars on Google. We've only eaten there a few times, and it's only 10 minutes from the house.
It's great.
It's good.
You would
it's
not
really
have
good.
gotten food poisoning from.
Yeah. But how do you suspect he'll rebound this coming weekend?
I mean, he'll rebound just fine as far as, looking at the night alone. But as far as the championship goes, it's a huge bummer because, like I was saying earlier, you get to know these guys a little bit. And coming into the season, he made some changes to just his everyday life. He kind of was not working this year because he wanted to really give it a solid shot. He felt like if he ever wants to try to be a champion, he's going to have to fully commit. So, yeah, he went all in, kind of talked with the place where he works and got some time off and training, riding, 100% dialed in. Looked better than, as far as like fitness goes.
Yep.
Best shape I've ever seen him in.
Except he was throwing up a lot.
Yeah, he ate the wrong chicken Friday night.
Not from Olive Garden.
No, I forget where it was, but it was
not
from Olive Garden.
That was the story
wasn't
of
the right choice.
The story of Saturday morning was how he was pretty much up all night, and
Well,
That's
another shout out, which is a Bitterman protege, Ben Thompson. He won the AB All Stars on Friday night. So
Vurb Classic alum.
Yeah, he comes a lot of the Vurb Shred Tours, and he got the Race Tech Most Shocking Performance Award this past year at the Vurb Classic. So when I saw him out there, I was like, wait, is that Ben Thompson? And sure enough, it was. I only had a few minutes in the pit, so I didn't get to see everybody who was there. So they had a great battle in the AB All Stars on Friday night.
His parents are really involved in the Arenacross scene there. His dad is the Lasting Impressions team there, so that fields Isaiah and Bitterman. And last year, Ben had a broken knee or something all year, so I just only ever saw him on crutches. But then when I saw him ride this year, I was like, dang,
he's fast.
This kid does rip. He's good.
If you go to Vurb Classics, you win or it crosses.
That's right. And I mean, that battle, did you get to shoot it on Friday night? Because
I was shooting, so I was using this as an opportunity to get some B-roll, and I was shooting his dad because his dad was stoked.
Yeah, it was a good race, though.
The whole
probably one of the best races of the night.
That we got to see until Brixton pulled us away.
Thanks, Brixton.
Gosh, yeah, we had to miss the main
Grow
events.
up.
So either way, mad shout out Ben Thompson, crush zone.
Good job.
I like it. Well, cool, Dan. I freaking love some Arenacross action. That's
we're all in.
Hey, tell the boys, like, let's get some funding. Let's do Arenacross Spy.
Arenacross Spy.
You shoot the racing. I'll be in the pits drinking beer, shooting the BTS. We don't need much. Just like
it's like half of me, and I'll shoot some iPhone clips.
Perfect, dude.
That's great.
You know how to use microphones and stuff.
Oh
Yeah. Well, speaking of Supercross, big news over the weekend, or I guess last week, but Prado, first 3 rounds. Already a stacked ass field in 450 for Supercross. How is this going to shake up for someone like him? Do you think he's going to do better than he anticipates, or do you think he has?
So what's the anticipation? And then I can go off that, like top 10.
I don't know. What do you think he thinks?
I have no idea.
I don't think he'd be signing up if he didn't think top 10.
No. I think this is let's see what I got so I can come over next year full time. This is 100% play for next year. Now,
we're going to hear it doesn't matter. I'm just setting the tone.
Of course, it matters. You're a racer. You're a world champion.
It always matters.
It always matters.
I don't know. From some of the interviews I've seen, he's a pretty confident guy. And
he's very confident.
I don't know that we're going to hear him say it like that. I feel like he's going to be like, kind of when they were questioning why don't you ride a 250, he's like, I'm a 450 rider.
Yeah.
And
well, he also can't ride a 250.
He feels that he 100% belongs out there. And I think he'll bring that same mentality to A1. So, like, how do I think he'll do? I haven't really, honestly, with opening round for Arenacross, I've been a little bit nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
Haven't been as up to date with everything else as I should be in the motocross world, or supercross in this case. But yeah, I think he is going there with the mindset of being a top guy right off the bat. I don't know that he's going to be talking about it as just a warm up.
I mean, if he leaves with 3 top 10s, you got to be happy. Like, I'm sorry, he's not getting on the podium. Dude, the class is like,
it's way too stacked.
I mean, he's beating Justin Barcia. He's beating Cooper Webb. These long established supercross guys.
Am I crazy for thinking that he could?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, like if we're talking about motocross,
I'm not the GP's expert here, so like,
well, these dudes have been racing supercross.
He's an outdoor specialist.
He's an outdoor guy.
Outdoor specialist, but he's good, and he's had.
Yeah, so was Cooper Webb. So was Eli Tomac.
When did he get on Supercross? Was it a few weeks ago? Yeah.
I mean, a couple months ago.
Yeah,
no, but he's ridden Supercross. Like, he has been trying to come to the U.S. for a long time. Like, let's not act like it's the first time.
But there's no way they don't have normal Supercross tracks in Europe.
No, he's come over here. He's come over here in the road.
A handful of times. Okay.
I will list just off the top of my head, guys. I think that will beat him: Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Cooper Webb, Justin Barcia, Jason Anderson, Malcolm Stewart, Eli Tomac.
That's the list I just wrote down.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Those are some guys that could beat him. But
Adam Cincerillo,
Plessinger, AC,
Plessinger, Sexton.
Oh, when you say it all like that.
That's what I mean, dude. Like, I'm not, like, this is no slight to him. These guys have spent their whole lives racing Supercross. If he was in the 250 class, I'd be like, oh, he could podium. 450, like, did that list of names?
Well, you said top 10. I think he could.
Top 10,
I would be
fine.
surprised if he's not getting a top 5 within those 3 races.
I will bet whatever you want on that.
3 races, he doesn't get a top 5?
Yeah, $100, $200.
I feel like I'm on Chase's side on this.
$300.
Unless he just has an insane amount of natural Supercross talent, which he very well might.
I'm like, man, I'm going to look like an idiot on this show here.
Well, no, it's
fine. It's an opinion. Like, we're all just talking. Yeah. None of us know.
I mean, I'm talking blind, though. I mean, I just said I haven't been watching stuff.
There's so many question marks. Like, even Tomac, does he come back and have the same? Is he the same dude? Who knows?
I still think he beats Prado.
Does Anderson come back with the 2022?
Again, these are former champs. Like, I just look. It's no. If this was motocross, I'd be like, oh yeah, he could win. He's never raced Supercross in his life.
If we're lining up for Hangtown, I'd probably be like,
I'd be like, oh, probably going to win. Like, he's never, and he's going right to the 450 class. And this was 250.
You're right. He ain't getting a top 10.
Oh no, he could get a top 10.
I think he could squeak in the top 10, but top 5, tall order
with luck on his side. But yeah, 3 races.
It's just going to be tough. And like, honestly though, like, if you're judging him on getting 12th, you're not paying attention. Like, that's what he should be getting.
Yeah, I agree. I think honestly, if he gets 12th, I think if he gets 12th, that's like, hey, dude, you did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you've got 3 or 4 weeks.
And like, now next year you come back in September, October, and give you 3 months of prep time. Yeah, you turn that 12th into a top 5.
Yeah, it's just, dude, that's a tall order to ask him to come in and like. I think if you're putting that expectations on him, like that's unfair. Like, top 15, I'm like, you're good.
All right, well, who wins A1?
Oh God. Jet?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, why not?
You can't bet against him, I guess, at this point.
Why not? Like, why not?
I don't know.
Did you see how good he looked in Paris?
Well, who are you gonna say?
I feel like Tomac, after watching Jet dominate outdoors, is going to come back and be like, I got a statement to make. I'm not the biggest Tomac fan. I like Tomac. I always have. Came up through the amateur ranks. I like who he is. I think he's a badass racer. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Tomac fan though.
We're still blocked?
and we are blocked. That has nothing to do with it though.
I'm joking.
He doesn't like the potato joke.
Does not like potatoes.
But in this scenario, man, I might have to go Tomac. Just because he has so much to prove right now.
I think it's Jet.
All right.
I don't like. He's just good, man. And like,
and after seeing Paris, like, Sexton's gonna have something to prove too. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, Sexton's is a new bike, right? So like, I think anytime, and especially going to the KTM, like, I think that's always like a race or two, right? Like, by San Diego or whatever, San Francisco, like. I just, whatever. And Webb, I think, will be there. I think Barsh is always good at the
Only reason
opener.
I'm not going Webb is the SMX.
Oh,
rounds.
I don't judge
I mean,
it.
maybe I'm not reading it right.
I don't
but
care about that.
I'm going to have to see Webb put in some
no, but this is right where Webb wants you. He wants everybody going, oh, Webb ain't gonna.
I've thought about that. I've wondered if he actually did what he did just to make people.
I think he's
catch
still
people off
doing
guard.
it.
I agree.
Like,
I don't
if
disagree.
anyone
You're
else,
leaving a lot of money on the table at those races to just play mind games.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree.
Look, Webb was coming in off and is Cooper Webb really worried about a couple $1,000 difference? No, he knew he wasn't going to win, so it's like a couple $1,000. Like, oh, just let everybody think I suck on this new Yamaha.
Get the show up money at Paris.
I think everybody sucks. Everybody will think I suck on this new Yamaha. Like, if anyone in that field would do it, it's Cooper Webb.
It is, yeah, okay.
It's Cooper Webb going, everybody doubt me. Everybody doubt me. And
yeah,
I'll
that's
come
a
in
position.
anyway.
Yeah,
He loves it.
He wants Vital to be like he's never going to win.
He wants Vital to be on.
He needs that fire.
He needs that fire. He needs us going. He needs all these, us and Steve and Weege and. Like, he needs us going, nah, Cooper's not it this year.
Cooper's definitely listening to this and letting this fire him up.
Yeah, so guess who had your back,
I don't know.
Cooper?
I think you're crazy. There's no way that would do anything for him.
You're crazy. No,
Like, I know the mind games, but no, I don't think he's going to the extent of
No, I'm not saying
you listen. You said Eli has he wants to come in and win. Like, all those guys have this mindset. Like, if they think they can win, their goal is to come in and break everyone. They're not looking to let you think anything.
No.
But I'm here to you don't have a chance.
No, what I'm saying is he uses the fuel for people like us.
I've heard that, but yeah,
dude, it's any athlete. They call it bulletin board material.
He may use it, but I don't think he's.
Football teams literally use that to pump up people. Like, that's Cooper Webb is like.
But did you say that you think he was?
No, I don't think he was
SMX just slide so that he.
No.
Get shit
I'm just
talked?
saying no.
And he'd only been on the bike for a month at that point in time.
No, I'm saying he had no prep. It's a brand new bike. He knew he wasn't
full blown Coop. He wasn't necessarily too worried about it.
Yeah, he's definitely not worried about what people are saying right now. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't assuming that he was lackadaisical at SMX just to let people think one thing.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But no, that's not what I was saying.
All right, well, Dan, you didn't throw your pick out. Who takes A1?
Yeah, well, the combo is already going. I'm kind of with Jet.
That's good. He's going to be good, dude. Does he win the title? I don't know. It's a long season.
He's got the momentum right now. I don't know. It's kind of it's what's so exciting about round one, all the unknowns. Eli, it would be so cool to see him come back strong because, when it all happened and it was like, is he done? Is he not done? And then when he decided to come back, there was definitely some people whose thoughts were like, why are you coming back? You've done so much. You're older. At the time, we were all talking about how that could be a career-ending injury, which, the superhuman alpha male that he is, he's just going to, I guess it's not a big deal for him.
Yeah.
They might as well have a sprained ankle.
He's like, 20 kilos, whatever. I'm Eli.
Walking in 2 months, whatever.
Yeah. So, it would be really cool to see him come back. And, yeah, for all the people who thought, could this be the end? For him to just come back and win would be unbelievable. So, yeah, once again, we're all, and that's just two guys on, you just mentioned a ton of names. Once again, we're treated to another epic Supercross season, and yeah, can't wait for A1,
biggest sleeper, guy that's maybe not on the radar, but
I'm saying Mookie. Yeah.
Mookie.
Is Hunter on the radar? Because I know.
I was gonna say Hunter.
That's kind of a debatable. Is he on the radar? Is he not on the radar?
I don't think people have him for title contender, and I think he could be.
I think he could be. I think him and Mookie are both going to be.
Dude, no, he's been so silent. What's he?
Well, that's what I mean.
From
I think if he could make it the whole season.
Oh, he's so good. He's got the.
He was so close to win last year, right?
No, that was the year before. Last year he hurt his knee second round.
That's right.
The year before.
So he
got second in points that year.
And as soon as he gets
third.
As soon as he gets a win,
it's going to open the floodgates.
It's going to open the floodgates for him. So I don't know. And same with Hunter. I think if Hunter gets a win.
I think Hunter is being slept on.
Well, you talk about opening the floodgates for Hunter. I feel like in Hunter's mind, the floodgates are open.
I think he's looking for some, I think he's got a chip on his shoulder coming in this year. 100%.
Especially after Jet kind of punted him a few corners in Paris.
And that. Yeah, I mean, but
he probably wants to show little bro.
Well, I think everybody's talking about Jet.
Yeah,
like coming in for his rookie year. Like nobody's talking about Hunter, and it's like, wait, this
I know.
guy just won 2 titles last year. Like,
but 250 titles, not 450.
I know,
450 is
but
a different ball game.
Yeah, but still, Jet's. Let's forget Jet's a 450 rookie in
For
Supercross.
For a lot of people, there's a difference between thinking you can do it and knowing you can do it. Like you can go to the line, think you can win, but until you get that win, it's all just thoughts. But like I don't know, the way Hunter carries himself and the way his self-confidence, I feel like he hasn't even got the win yet, but he's already got that feeling of that he knows he can. I'm
just saying, I wouldn't, if you tell me after Anaheim won, Hunter got top 5, I'm like, okay. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So
I got big expectations for him this year.
Capital J journalist Chase, you're going to be the only one that knows this. How many different winners have we seen? What's the most amount of different winners that we've seen in a season? 6, 7? 7?
Yeah.
It's usually about 4. No. 4,
I'd say average is probably 4.
Is about
if I had to completely guess.
And we didn't even talk about Ken Roxon.
So how many different winners could we see this year? 10? No.
How many will we see?
When I was doing zooming in, right, we were right at the round 5 or something, and there was like so many different winners, and Seth Rarick came on, and he was like, I'm all excited. We got so many winners, and he was like, yeah, but that's kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's usually.
He's like, it's always 6, and he just like dropped this fact on me, and then I found out that it was
5
like, and then sure enough, he was right. Like all the new winners stopped like that next week, and he just knew that was going to be the case.
Here's who I think wins races.
Yep.
Eli Tomac.
Yep.
Cooper Webb.
Yep.
Jet Lawrence.
Yep.
Chase Sexton. Ken Roxon. That's it.
Hunter?
I don't think Hunter wins. No.
You don't think Hunter gets one?
No. I think he's going to be like podium and.
But Hunter. So you're saying 5
I don't think
different
he gets
winners.
a win. 5 different winners.
We're on the same page, except I just wrote down Hunter gets one too.
It wouldn't
so I'm
surprise
saying
me if
6.
Hunter-
I'm
okay.
sticking to 6.
6 would
Still
be
my answer. I was going to say add Hunter to that list.
Hunter.
All right,
yes,
so hold
that
on.
would not
Let's
surprise me.
Wes. So since you and I both added Hunter, with those 6, take one, right or off. Who would it be?
Hunter.
Shit.
I think it's Hunter. No,
I don't think it is. It's not for me, but
who is it?
I mean,
for you?
Roxon only got 1 win last year, so is it Roxon? I don't know.
Did they come in with the electric start this year? I've heard rumors or
I don't know.
putting an electric start on there.
But I don't feel like the kickstart breaks.
for that one.
Yeah, Kiefer, paging Kiefer.
I don't think a kickstart makes or breaks a win.
I agree.
Because by the time
I'm
you
just
fall
asking
in and
if
you
they put
need
it
that
on.
start, your win is already gone. So
agree.
I don't think that'll affect.
No, I don't either.
That'll minimize the damage on his bad nights, but it's not going to change any.
No, of course not. I was more of a.
So Wes, who's your one guy?
I just said Roxon. I already said it.
Are you taking off?
Yeah, nobody.
You told me I had to. Take it off. Take it off, Dan.
Hey, we're gonna clip this out and not say he said that.
But Kenny's the one I want to get the win. So like, he's gonna use this.
I think
fuel.
Kenny could win Anaheim.
I hope he does. I hope he proves me wrong because I would love to see Ken win 5 of them. Honestly, I would love to see Ken win the damn championship. Just
think
because
he can.
How magic it would be to have his career come full circle.
I think he can. On a Suzuki
Supercross championship, on a Suzuki, nonetheless, it'd be cool as shit.
I'm getting pumped for the season. Like now is the time. Like you kind of need that break. Like I think even fans are like, dude, God Almighty, we've had so much racing.
Yeah.
Like I just need a break. I'm over it. Like this is the time right now.
Well, I'm keeping Roxon on the list. Dan said I had to delete one. He didn't, so I'm going back to 6, and Roxon's on it.
I got 5. I mean, I'm sticking with 5. I think Hunter's gonna be really good though.
Like
really good.
You were just talking about the break. Like that's what I love about. People say, do you like Supercross or motocross? I love both because like when you kind of get tired of one, you get the other. And
by the end of 17 rounds, I'm like, all right.
Variety is the spice of life, baby. Let's go.
I feel like Supercross should be 15 rounds, but just my opinion.
Yeah, 15, 11.
So wild cards though, we got Barsha, who
he could win.
race winner. We got Mookie that hasn't won one yet that we just said.
Plessinger, who almost won a race.
who almost won a race. So we got 3 other dudes.
Jason Anderson, who's a past champ. Adam Cincerillo, who's
AC.
If he can figure out his arm thing, like, we're missing people. Who else is there? Like, there's Colt Nichols. I mean, good God, it's most stacked field ever.
Hey, it really is the most stacked field ever.
No, maybe not.
Deja vu. I feel like I'm hearing convo from last year.
It's stacked though, dude. It is. Josh Hill or Justin Hill.
How crazy would it be to see one of those dudes win one? I don't think that'll happen.
No, I mean, I don't.
Be cool.
I've heard Josh might not be going back to Tedder. I don't know.
Vince Freezy.
250 class, but I think he's doing 450 on the coast. I don't know.
That would be cool as shit too.
Yeah, I mean, good. God, there's just so many dudes, dude. Like, we're gonna look like I can see our post Anaheim 1 and going, dude, can you believe so and so didn't qualify?
Yeah,
like just straight up didn't qualify.
Yeah. Well, switching gears a little bit, next week we're heading to Florida. Danny was supposed to be heading to Florida, but then this whole Arenacross thing happened. We're doing this thing called the Yamaha Edit Contest, throwing it back to 2013, 2014. Danny, we're going to go shoot a ton of footage of the coupes that we just talked about. Tomac, the whole 250 squad, Hayden Deegan. We're going to get clips of that.
I've already got FOMO.
And we're going to upload all the clips to let the people edit their own videos from this. Pretty and then, Danny, you're probably going to be on the judging panel. We're going to watch thousands of entries and see who wins the Yamaha Edit Contest. I am going to miss you, but hopefully maybe you'll enter. But
wait, so I can download the footage and do I have to be a judge or can I edit the content?
No, you got to be a judge, and then you have to edit too, and then I'm just going to disqualify you because you can't, whatever. But I won't tell you this until after you've edited.
No, I think it's a super cool idea. We did it back with Smith.
You're part of
Hampshire.
The very first one with Smith and Hampshire, yeah.
Yep, down at WW and
Edit Contest.
I thought it was super cool then because I remember as a kid growing up, I used to sit there on YouTube and. At the time, I was always watching Simon Cudby's, test track videos, and I mean, I used to be like, "Mom, I could do this. Like, I want get me out there." Like, I used to, when you live in New England, you're in a bubble to this sport. Like the people in SoCal, I think, are so they
jaded,
probably don't even realize how lucky they are to have access to these tracks and these riders and be in that area. Whereas if you're from New England, I mean, you sit around all winter and you're just watching it dump snow, and it seems like a world away, like impossible to be there. And I just used to always just so badly wish that I could get that footage. And
so what you're saying
sounds cocky to say, but I used to be like, I could do better than this. Like I can make cooler stuff because granted, I mean, he's just making test track videos, raw stuff. And I'm at home making edits, DS164 edits, baby.
Bro. That's
so
cool.
I used to always just
what you're saying
over the opportunity to edit stuff. So to be able to provide that opportunity to kids now and be like, hey, you think you can edit cool stuff, but you feel like not having access to the riders of the tracks is what's holding you back. Well, guess what?
Here it is, baby.
Here it is. Unleash the beast.
Yep. So we got 3 days down there. It's going to be pretty gnarly. They're doing the team photo shoot. We got Octopi down there with Garth and Swan. They're going to be shooting photos. We got TV people down there. I heard Dirt Shark's coming to shoot a little commercial spot with Tomac on Tuesday afternoon. So we're somehow in the fold of all this, but we got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to capture as much epic footage as we can during all this, Dan. So hopefully we'll be uploading about 4,000 gigabytes of footage for everybody to download and start the contest about mid-December, run it through Supercross a little bit, and then hopefully, you'll watch 1,000 videos that get submitted. Tell me which ones are the 10 best, and then I'll go from there.
I think that's.
I don't want to have to watch 1,000 videos.
I think that's what's going to happen, though. Because what I just heard is all of New England is about to enter the scene. Nothing better
They
to do.
should.
That's what I just heard.
They should. Anybody who wants to make cool videos should.
Honestly, if you want this to be your job and you don't enter this, you're a moron.
Yeah.
Actually, on that note, pretty much my whole deal kickstarted when I won the Racer X contest.
Right. Yeah, I was a judge.
So, and I was just talking to somebody else, Josh Prowse. I forget which contest he said he entered, but
a lot of
he got a deal with, I believe it was Rocky Mountain off of winning another contest. So contests are a good way to get your foot in the door.
That's the point. We have a few different categories that we'll be announcing, but you'll be able to enter each particular one that kind of can suit your strength. So we'll talk about that on the next podcast. But this thing, Yamaha is looking for people to help them edit. Everybody in the world right now is looking for help on social too. If someone does good and they can show that they can think outside the box and create a unique product out of the footage that everybody uses, because there's always a standout. Brian Town now is the lead editor at GoPro. He got second, I believe, in the Meta Edit contest with RJ and them. But I remember watching them, and there was 3 standout ones. And in a field of 1,000, when you're wow, there was 3 standouts, those 3 people went on to pretty big jobs in this industry. So either way, that's the coolest part of this is if you're good, you will get noticed.
And then I'm not I don't want to guarantee anyone jobs across the industry, but when I was used to run the Racer X one, dude, so many people that were in that thing got jobs at like Fox or Rock River or people, especially now with Instagram and social.
That was 8 or 10 years ago. Yeah,
everyone is looking for people to edit, to shoot.
Yep.
Like, there's not a better time, honestly, if you're trying to do video work. Like, because every company needs it to do their product reviews or
and not even
podcast or whatever it is. Like,
you may not even look at it as a way to try to get a job, but like a lot of videographers, Wes, I'm sure you just enjoy making badass content. And so imagine just being like handed as a, somebody who's not able to be there all the time. Here's a bunch of
or never have been
awesome
there. Really,
never been there.
Yeah, here's Deegan, Tomac, like pretty much all the most stylish dudes on the track.
Yep.
Here's some footage for you to play with. So I know you said you're going to talk about it more next time, but while I'm here, I just want to say I'm definitely bummed I won't be there.
We will miss you.
It's unfortunate the date changed. I was looking forward to it. And then also, anybody who's thinking that they might be interested, like 100% make it a priority to take the time, download the footage, and
spend time
cut it up and make it cool. Because I mean, whether you get a job from it or not, you'll be able to.
Can we just clip this?
Cool. Yeah, I was going to say this is our promo
just
for
clip
the
it.
thing. Like,
yeah, we don't need to say anything else.
On that
Thanks,
note,
Dan.
I really got to piss.
I did too. I've had to pee since like Bitterman was on the phone, or Peters.
Thanks, Dan, for
job,
awesome
Dan.
advertisement for the
free advertisement from Danny.
Hey, it comes from experience. I wish that they were doing that back when I was, trying to get my foot in the door. I had to go to Loretta's and pretty much beg you to let me post shit for free for a while. And here I am.
You're still posting stuff for free. Yes. Thanks, Dan.
We made it. Hey, thanks for having us at Arenacross this weekend. What an awesome time.
Great job, Dan.
ArenacrossAllAccess.com. You can use the code VurbWest. Give me all your $5 from them. That's not really a code. Don't use it. But definitely support the series, support the riders. I'm all about it. All in on Arenacross. Can't wait till next weekend. And Chase is going to go pee on himself. So
I peed like 15 minutes ago. Okay. So I was hoping to wait till after this show to tell you that. Is that cool?
Well, yeah, just mop it up if you don't mind. Sweet. We'll see you next time. Vanilla Racing Broadcast. Peace out.